Okay, so this is Prac 2 and we're going to continue what we did in Prac 1, bit of review, recap of that. We're going to read in some data, we're going to look at making histograms, box plots, how to edit them. We're also going to do side-by-side box plots, back-to-back histograms, and look at how we can get all this into Word. So here's my Citrix receiver. This is using Adapt. So this is won't necessarily look like it does in the lab, but will look like it does at home if you're watching this at home. So we're going to need SPSS, so I'll start that. And we're also later going to need Word, so I'll start that as well. If you haven't already got it, go to my uni and you should be able to download the spreadsheet called wood.xlsx, which we're going to use for this. So here's SPSS. Now, it starts off with this, which, as I said, if you have data from last time, will appear here, but we're putting a new data set in there, so we'll go cancel. And let's recap how we get data in. So we're going to go File, open data. I give it read-write permission so I can get it from my local computer, the one I'm using in my office. So I've clicked through and I've eventually found the data on my local computer and I want the Wood one, so I now click open. So have a look, looks all pretty good. Click OK. And takes a while because obviously it's grabbing the data from my local computer and put it on the servers. So let's have a look what we've got here. We've got a single column. So each one of these is a sample of timber. Some of them have been given high levels of preservative. Some of them have been given low levels of preservative, and here we measure the percentage loss of the wood. So we've got this preservative, we want to see if we can, what levels we should use to maintain our wood. So let's have a look at the variable view. It's got preservative is a nominal, makes sense. Almost treat this as an ordinal, but we'll leave it as a nominal. And loss is a scale, because it's a quantitative continuous random variable. So that's all good. So let's first of all, let's look at how we're going to do histograms and box plots. So we saw box plots, etc. last week when we looked at analysis and then descriptives. But if you just want to make a graph on its own, you can actually do it using the graph menu. So go graph and then chart builder. First time you use it, it would say, you know, blah, 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 gives you some information. Fine. Well, okay. So it comes up. The first thing you do is you choose, this is called the gallery, you choose the plots that you want. So the first thing we're going to do is a histogram. So you go down here till you get histogram, and then you want to choose the type of histogram. This simple one here is the one we're going to choose, and you click and drag that up. So this is our basic picture we're going to do. So now we have to decide what we're going to plot, and we're going to do a histogram of loss. So we take loss, we click, hold, and drag down to the x-axis, like that. Now, you can adjust this and make it slightly better. So it says here that we're going to look for the titles footnotes. So you've got titles footnotes here. You click on that. We choose title 1 and we can give it a name. So let's call it histogram of loss. Click apply. And hopefully that will put a title up there when we finish it. We'll have to wait and see. Other things we should do at the moment is we should also consider looking at changing the statistic. So if we click on that, come over here where it says statistic, drop that down, and what we want is histogram percent. So this is just changing what we can have on the y-axis, either counts or percents. Click apply, that all looks good, click OK. Then wait. So let's have a look. We've got histogram of loss, which we want. We've got percent on this side, and there's our histogram. And as always, whenever you do some plots like this, stop and look at it and go, what do I see? Remember, whenever you look at a distribution, you should be thinking about shape, location, spread, and outliers. So for example here, you can see that we've got a peak here and then another peak here. So we could perhaps say this is bimodal. It seems to be sort of pointing in this direction a little bit. Maybe it's right skewed, etc. So let's do the next thing with a box plot. So graph, chart builder. It's got the old one there, so how do we go? We go back to the gallery. We now are going to choose box plot. We want a single thing like that, so we just click and drag. And it automatically put loss in there. If loss wasn't there for any reason, you would take loss and you would drag it on there to let it know. We can click OK. And there we've got our loss. Not as informative as a histogram maybe. So that's a recap of histograms, well, first time on histograms, but a recap of box plot.